The full moon in Scorpio on May the 1st is going to be a moon that you are going to feel your way through. Scorpio is the sign opposite Taurus, and they share a deeply embodied and emotionally intelligent way of perceiving life, not just through what's visible, but through what's actually felt or sensed and known beneath the surface. So, this is going to be about the unseen, the realm of the unseen, the unspoken, the implied. And most of the time, what is going to be happening around this time of the full moon is going to happen unconsciously. We're only aware of the very tip of the iceberg, this emotional iceberg, but something deeper is moving underneath. Something is shaping our reactions, our perceptions, even the events that seem to meet us from the outside. So, under this full moon in Scorpio, feelings you didn't even know you were carrying can rise up to the surface, and it's not going to be random. It's not about what's happening to you. It's more about what's being reflected back to you. Just like the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, what is being reflected back to you through conversations, encounters, disruptions, and moments that feel charged, perhaps even disproportionate, right? This moon asks you to consider something deeper. What if what's unfolding right now for you is carrying a message from you to you? And it's something true, not comfortable necessarily. It may be inconvenient to face this truth, but this is where the work is going to begin, because Scorpio energy can pull you into reaction because of the emotional intensity involved with Scorpio. Scorpio wants to control, wants to defend, wants even perhaps to collapse. But Scorpio also offers something more powerful. Scorpio offers the opportunity to become conscious of what has been driving you from beneath the surface, right? Your unconscious motivations, your desires. And so we are going to be asked, we are invited here to move from unconscious reaction to like intentional, embodied response. Welcome, I'm Yolanda. I am a certified astrologer and coach, and I work at the intersection of astrology, psychology, and embodied self-trust. This isn't just about predicting what's coming up next, although I do offer predictions, and you will see there are sun and rising forecasts for you. But it's also about helping you return to coherence and meet your life with more awareness. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the lunation chart for the full moon in Scorpio, and the moon is full May 1st here at 10:23 in the morning here in the Pacific Northwest. This is where I am. Now, you will see, of course, that the sun is opposite the moon. The moon is at 11 degrees Scorpio, and in every full moon, the sun and the moon are, of course, opposite each other, and the sun is in Taurus. The moon is ruled by Mars in Aries. Aries is Mars's home sign, and it also rules Scorpio. The difference here is that Mars in Aries is externally driven. The desire, Mars's desires in Aries are open, they are visible, they are declared. Mars goes forth and conquers in Aries in a very open manner. In Scorpio, Mars is not external, internally driven. Mars is internally driven. The drive is secretive, hidden, and that is basically what you are dealing with here during this lunation, is with your internal desires, your internal drives, okay, your unconscious motivations. Now, Pluto also rules Scorpio. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, and Pluto is in a square to the moon and to the sun. And this is a very important thing to note here. Pluto is conjunct Juno. Juno is the asteroid of relationships, of commitments, contracts, but also empowerment, self-empowerment in particular. How empowered do you feel? How, how is the person you're with, how are they lifting you up, raising you up? Do you feel like you are able to become your best self, like the best version of yourself comes forward, forth with this person that you're with? Or do you find that you have to hide parts of yourself, that you have to suppress, that you have to play small with this person that you're with or that you hope to be with? So, needless to say, this full moon does bring a lot of either commitment to a person, so a lot of like marriages around this time, people getting married, people committing, but also a lot of separation, divorces, endings, because the main theme is going to be that it's going to be one where you are not feeling supported by this other person, your spouse, your lover. Um, it can even be a business partner, right? You are not going to feel supported. You feel like you've had to shrink instead of, grow in the presence of this person. And so you are now moving forward. That's definitely going to be a big theme here. The other big thing that's going to occur around this full moon, leading up to the full moon, but also 2 weeks after the full moon, is trouble with people's words. Now, what do I mean by that? We have Chiron conjunct Mercury in Aries, and Chiron is the wounded healer. And so if you have not done the work, the inner work of healing, healing whatever it is that easily triggers you, and of course, this is ongoing work, you're going to find that other people's words, especially, are going to be triggering or are going to, cause you to react in a negative manner, perhaps even relapse into an in an unhealthy situation, because you are going to take those words to heart. This is very important that you know that you shouldn't be doing this, because people are very reactive at this time. If you're hanging out with people that you know are not very self-aware, people that are operating, in an unconscious manner. And really, I just recently published a video on consciousness. Please go watch that. I doubt it's going to be my most popular video. Okay. But go and watch that video on consciousness. You'll understand what I'm saying. You have to give yourself space between what you are receiving, right, which may not be pleasant, from others, what is coming your way. You have to take that space from what is coming in, give yourself this moment to just breathe, reflect before you react. It's not going to be easy, because Mars rules this lunation, and Mars in Aries is fast energy, speedy, reactive, right? So you want to be aware of that. Now, Pluto is in a supportive connection or aspect here with Venus, and Venus is ruling the Sun here in Taurus. And this is really all about deepening our connections with others, having these more honest conversations with other people, becoming more unified by being more truthful, more transparent, which by going deeper, because remember, this is scorpionic energy going on here, and scorpionic energy is all about going deeper, about revealing things that we've kept secret, we've hidden from, not only from others, but we've hidden from ourselves. So you may find that you are having many revelations around this time, like you are realizing things about yourself. And this is all because of this scorpionic energy going on or at play right now. Okay, so I'm not going to spend much more time on this. I'm going to go straight into your forecasts for your sun and rising signs. So let's begin with Aries. Okay, Aries, Sun and Rising. So the moon is in your eighth house. So this is going to be a revealing moon in terms of resources, other people's resources, and debts, that kind of thing. You may receive money at this time, probably a loan or a payout of some sort, an insurance payout, tax payout, a inheritance may be coming your way, and so money is coming in. And what you are going to do with that money is going to somehow improve your self-image, your sense of worth. You may, it might not be a large sum of money. It may just be a tidy sum where you find yourself now going for like a haircut, spending time in a spa or a beauty salon, whatever the case may be, you are going to do something around your self-image. It could even be something like getting a new tattoo, right? So that's where you're going to put some of this money that is coming in. And you are building powerful connections in specifically in a group setting. This is now with Pluto and Juno in your 11th house. You are building you know building connections with other people, but probably in some sort of group setting. So if you are a member of a club or you've joined, say, a yoga studio or, something like that, this is where you are making friends and perhaps you are becoming more of a central figure in whatever, wherever you're finding yourself. So you may be now teaching, you may be leading groups. That is really coming to the fore now. This is really picking up for you. This is where you're finding your sense of power and drive. Okay. All right, Aries, do leave a comment if this resonated with you, and do remember to like and subscribe. Taurus, Sun and Rising. So this moon is in your seventh house of relationships. So business relationships, romantic relationships, but also contracts. And so what you may find is happening at this time is you may be signing a contract, getting married, or even possibly separating or getting divorced. There's definitely a shift in, and it's a very psychological shift, by the way. Your sense of self has changed, your self-image has changed, but it's also deeply psychological. Whatever is going on for you, whether it is a commitment or a recommitment or a split, a way you're splitting up with your partner or a business partner, it has definitely shifted your mindset. This has been a very psychologically potent, powerful time for you. There is a chance that your partner may be hospitalized. Uh, in some cases, hopefully not. If not hospitalized, then, find themselves in prison, um, or institutionalized somehow, but they may have to go away for a while. And if there have been problems in your relationship, you can be sure that it has to do with what I said earlier in the beginning of this video. It has to do with how they triggered you, with, especially with the way they spoke. So like verbal abuse or emotional abuse, the way they spoke to you, you felt, you know, less than, uncomfortable around them. It could also be, again, depending on what's going on in your own birth chart, it also could also be that you have had to learn how to speak to yourself and how to speak to others in a more loving way, in a more conscious way. Okay, Taurus, do let me know in the comments if this resonated with you, and do remember to like and subscribe. Gemini, Sun, and Rising. So the moon is in your sixth house of work and health and pets and, your daily routine. And yeah, now this may be a number of things. You may find that you've had to change your daily routine, your even your like your health has been impacted somehow, and you've had to make some changes. You've had to maybe pick up the pace. In other words, take up an exercise, do more exercise, change your um, eating habits because your health has been impacted and you're aware of it. So you may be doing more exercise lately. You may be more focused on getting healthy. And certainly Venus is supporting you here in the first house. You are looking better. So if you have gone through some sort of health crisis, Gemini, Sun and Rising, you're certainly looking better. There's a glow up, right? You are glowing, you are shining. But there is definitely some sort of health issue. I wouldn't be surprised to hear that it might have something to do with your feet, ankles, feet, that kind of area, and that has caused you some trouble. But anyway, all of that is improving. So that's the good news here. Um, with all this activity going on in your 11th house, with Mars cruising through, then Mars ruling this lunation, there is this opportunity, if it hasn't been happening. You've been very busy already with groups, with online networking, social media, that kind of thing. Maybe you've been working a lot with AI, whatever it is, but there's been a lot of online activity. Maybe you've attended classes to do with AI or social media, technology specifically. You may even be dealing with foreign people, people from other countries, with this opportunity of mingling with people from other countries. If you've been traveling, that's certainly been the case. You've been having these transformative experiences with people from other countries. Or if that hasn't happened, it's certainly going to happen within the next 2 weeks. Transformative experiences, as in you're learning so much. You may be even committing to some sort of relationship with a person from another country. So there may be that on the cards. This love connection with a foreigner, but also possibly a business connection with a foreigner. Okay, Gemini, Sun and Rising, let me know if this resonated with you, and do leave a comment, and do remember to like and subscribe. Right, Cancer, Sun, and Rising. So this lunation occurs in your fifth house of, creativity, children, romance, love, all those beautiful things, making art, hobbies. And yeah, Cancer, Sun, and Rising. This is a powerful time for you creatively. So if you're a writer, now is the time, to possibly be sending out your query letters, your proposals. If you're an artist, a good time to start showing your work. If you're thinking of taking up a hobby, whatever it is, a craft, something like knitting, whatever it is, this is a good time to do it. Again, it depends a lot on your birth chart placements, like what is actually being activated in your birth chart. But this is just generally speaking, wonderful positive time as well for travel, Cancer, Sun, and Rising. So if you are traveling overseas, this is a fantastic time here with the North Node in your ninth house and ruled by Venus in your in the 12th house here, Gemini, a very you're just going to be interacting a lot with foreign people if you are traveling, obviously. Very chatty, you're going to be very chatty, very social. You're going to find people are very approachable and they're going to be very warm and welcoming. Again, generally speaking. This is also to do with your career, though, this lunation. So, if you have, for example, submitted a query letter and you're a writer, you may be hearing back from an agent now, or you may be getting a publishing deal. This is because Mars is cruising through your 10th house of career, but it has something to do with your creative endeavors. If you want a story published or whatever, you may be hearing from your editors, whatever that may be now. Again, whatever, you don't have to be a writer or anything like it, but anything that you're doing creatively, Cancer, Sun, and Rising, this is happening for you now. So, for example, you might even be pregnant. You may discover you're pregnant. And that is going to be a highlight, right? Obviously, of your life. Or you may discover that a child of yours is pregnant and you're now going to be a grandparent. Okay. Okay, Cancer, Sun, and Rising, let me know if this resonated with you in the comments and do remember to like and subscribe. So Leo, Sun, and Rising, the moon is cruising through your fourth house of home, of, family, foundations. And well, yeah, what we have here is, well, a number of things going on here. There is a possibility, Leo, that you are considering traveling at the moment. If you're probably considering it and really feel this wanderlust. You want to get away, you want to travel, you want to, um, especially overseas travel. You want to get onto a plane and the reason I say you're feeling it, but not necessarily doing it, is because the North Node here in the eighth house and, the South Node in your second house is the funds may not be available. Things may financially might be tight at this time. You may not manage to do it. And there's if you are in a relationship, it may also have something to do with your partner. Your partner may not get away, or your partner may have, you've had to possibly lend money to your partner, or you've something to do with a partnership where money has flowed that way, and so you can't actually put money towards other things like travel. That could be a scenario that is playing out at this time, Leo, Sun, and Rising. Again, it would depend a lot on your placements in your chart. There's what is happening around this full moon is a lot of time spent with friends, with colleagues, connections that you've made, online groups, even people that you maybe met online and you're hanging out with them. That kind of thing is happening. But on the home front, you're definitely going to be more at home than you actually possibly desire to be. But yeah, that's just the general overview there, Leo, Sun, and Rising. Let me know if this resonated with you, and do remember to like and subscribe. Virgo, Sun, and Rising. So the moon is in your third house of, communication, siblings, your immediate community, your neighbors. So that's going to be highlighted. And you have this deep desire, Virgo, Sun, and Rising, to really do something that you have kept to yourself with all this activity in the eighth house. In other words, something creative, something to do with your communication, something like writing. It could even be, speaking, singing. This deep desire to express yourself more creatively is like really wanting out. And so there's this opportunity for you to do it at this time. Something, someone might come up to you now and say, well, you know what? Um, Come sing at my bar this weekend, or show up and can you come and speak about this at our fundraiser, whatever the case may be. An opportunity is likely to show up that allows you to do this. It could also be relating to eighth house matters like, astrology, tarot, occult stuff, right? Esoteric stuff where you're invited to be more open about it, to share your skills, your psychic abilities, or people are recognizing your psychic abilities. Certainly with Venus up here in your 10th house, you are becoming more well known in that area, right? Certainly it's something to do that is secretive, hidden, occulty, right? Esoteric. All right, so Virgo, Sun and Rising, let me know if this resonated with you, and do remember to like and subscribe. Libra, Sun and Rising. So the moon is in your second house of income, your self-worth as well. And okay, there's a lot going on here. Money coming in for sure. And it may come in because of a spouse or through a spouse or a business partnership. So your spouse, your partner, your romantic partner, or your business partner, there's an influx of money, and that is also going to help you financially. Or it could be a partnership that you get into where there's this influx of money. But your partner may be getting money from maybe an inheritance, right? Because of the sun in the eighth house. And it is definitely helping you financially. Okay, if you are looking for work, Libra Sun and Rising, I highly recommend that you look for work, universities, colleges, um, legal firms, but also approach or reach out to companies in foreign lands, not companies or corporations in your own country, but apply to foreign companies, right? Work may come in through a foreigner as well, right? The other possibility, Libra, Sun and Rising, and of course, I don't know what you do. And the other possibility is something to do with the ocean, with Jupiter cruising through your 10th house here of Cancer, ocean, river, water, something to do with water. So it could be shipping, plumbing, um, those kind of things may also help, may also be where you profit and gain, Libra, Sun and Rising. Okay, so Libra, Sun and Rising, let me know if this resonated with you, and do remember to like and subscribe. Scorpio, Sun and Rising. So your moon is, of course, the moon is in your first house. So this culminates for you, Scorpio. This is an important full moon, and what you are going to find here is it's all centered around your work. So your job, right? Whatever your job is, it's busy. You are very busy at work. Chances are that you have been promoted or recognized for your work. There's some sort of new contract that you've signed or about to sign at work. This is to do with, I would definitely say to do with work. If you're signing things, there's also a possibility of signing something to do with an inheritance or a payout, insurance payout or something like that may also come in. You could be signing a will, you could be doing all of those kind of things now, but it's all to do with, it's somehow all related to do with the work, whatever work it is, whatever you're doing day by day. There's so much activity there. You're so busy. The chances of you feeling anxious, heightened anxiety, stressed out is strong at this time. You really are feeling the pressure. Whatever's also going on there at work is impacting your home life. You may be so busy, you may not be spending a lot of time at home. Or if you're working from home, things are intense at home because you're just so focused on your work. The other thing that's happening here, Scorpio, is your health. So you're probably aware that you've had to make some changes. You may have lost some weight, or you need to lose weight, or you are aware that you have to look after yourself better. That is also coming across quite strongly here. So Scorpio, Sun and Rising, let me know in the comments if this resonated, and do remember to like and subscribe. Sagittarius, Sun and Rising. So the moon is in your 12th house. And of course, this is all to do with deep psychological processes, um, but also with, maybe you've had to spend some time in hospital or some sort of treatment, um, or you may have to visit someone in hospital. It could be a mother, it could be a woman in hospital. Again, this also has to do a lot to do with your personal placements in your chart. And I don't have access to that. So, but anyway, this is just a general reading. There is a lot of work going on, underneath the surface to do with your emotional regulation. You learning to control your response, to regulate yourself. Okay, what else is going on here? At work, you may find yourself, like whatever your job may be, you may be considering a partnership with a woman, or your boss is a woman. And this is a culmination, so it's not really news to you. This is just the end result. Someone has been promoted. Again, if depending on your placements, it might be you that has been promoted if you are a woman, or if not necessarily identify as a woman, but someone who is in touch very much with the feminine side of things. There's certainly something very creative here. It's to do with a creative endeavor. You may, it might be a baby. You may, gosh, Sagittarius, a lot going on here. So a new baby may be on the cards, a baby coming home, or or a child may have a baby, so become a grandparent. And I think a lot of what's going on here, like I said, this underground or underneath process of learning to deal better with your emotions, and not being so secretive, not holding back so much with how you feel about things, has to do with words, with control, learning. You've learned to control. Sagittarians are well known for being so direct and open, and you've actually learned to not be so open about certain things because you've realized it actually hasn't been helpful in every case. Possibly something to do with a relationship with a woman, like I say. So it could even be that at end of a friendship, or maybe some sort of breakup with a sibling, or a sibling, yeah, one younger than you, or a neighbor, all to do with that tension in that relationship, a breakup. Okay, yeah. Lots going on, Sagittarius. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. Do remember to like and subscribe. Aquarius, Sun and Rising. Oh, sorry, Capricorn, Sun and Rising. So Capricorn, this lunation's actually in your 11th house. I see that the moon here is at 0 degrees of your 12th, but don't worry, it's actually in your 11th house. And this is going to be all about your, it's a culmination. So things come to fullness now in the house of networks, friendships, groups, associations, good luck as well. Good luck in the home. Good things happening in the home, Capricorn, Sun, and Rising. A lot of movement in the home. Well, it depends really on how you see things here, but this all looks very favorable to me. There may be someone moving out of your home so that you may be like, a child leaves the home or a roommate leaves and but there is definitely a flow of money coming in. So it could be that you sell a home, you move, and this is all going to be a positive thing, positive changes. You could be moving for work. You could be finding, you might have to move for work, right? It could be that you move because a partner has found work elsewhere in another state, another country. Good news also coming in around anything to do with writing, communication, expressing yourself, speaking, neighborhood. Again, I'm getting this vibe that you're considering moving or a move is on the cards. So moving home, and that is going to be positive for you, Capricorn, Sun and Rising. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with